Dear parliamentarians, dear colleagues, dear women in parliament, as Assistant Secretary General of UN Women, it is with great pleasure that I address you at the Women in Parliament's Mexico Summit, where I would have loved to be, but I hope your deliberations will be successful. We highly value your partnership with us and the excellent work you do to reach out to all national women parliamentarians for a global agenda. Transforming our world, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development marks a global ambition for transformation by 2030, with its standalone Sustainable Development Goal on gender equality and the inclusion of gender equality targets throughout the other goals and throughout the agenda. The 2030 Agenda recognizes and reflects that the systematic mainstreaming of a gender perspective in the implementation of the agenda is crucial. This recognition of the centrality of gender to sustainable development is a seismic shift, underlining that sustainable development cannot be achieved if half the population is excluded or faces barriers to their participation. UN Women is supporting the 2030 Agenda with its own vision of Planet 50-50 by 2030. Full equality between men and women as a key aspect of this vision, we will build the full and equal participation of women in political leadership. The Global Leaders Meeting on Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment, a commitment to action, convened by the People's Republic of China and UN Women on 27 September 2015, marked the culmination of the year of review of the implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, 20 years after its implementation, in which you also participated. This meeting, which coincided with the historic adoption of the 2030 Agenda, provided us many as 72 heads of state and government with the opportunity to commit and or recommit to gender equality and women's empowerment. Particularly, support was pledged to women's political participation and leadership at all levels. So build on that. It's imperative that the 2030 Agenda is localized at national and subnational levels in order to achieve the transformative changes required to take it from commitments to reality and impact lives and livelihoods globally, of women in particular. Parliaments are the voice of the people. Decision making must be people-centered and inclusive of the diversity of populations in this regard. Your voice will be essential to convey the gender equality perspectives of development into the local context. Parliaments, governments, and peacemaking fora need women's voice and representation and leadership to place gender equality issues, women's empowerment issues front and center into national development agendas and ensure that women fully benefit from a nation's development. You, as members of our world's parliaments, our most representative institutions, will be on the front lines of upholding your government's commitments to gender equality and women's empowerment. This is your opportunity to shape history through the policies and laws adopted in your countries to significantly improve the lives of the world's people, but especially the lives of your constituents, and to set a course that will herald the elimination of poverty, discrimination, violence, and suffering too many women are subjected to. Your actions are key to attaining gender equality in your country. Parliaments can do a lot to ensure gender responsive oversight mechanisms and budgeting for the SDGs, create legal frameworks, approve budgets, and promote national instruments for the collection of accurate and high quality sex and age disaggregated data and indicators to monitor progress on each of the SDG goals and targets. It's important to emphasize that without sustainably increasing financing substantially from all sources and at all levels to close the gender gap, the 2030 Agenda will remain an admirable but unfulfilled promise. UN Women has a universal mandate, which means we can do and want to engage with all parliaments across the globe. It's time for all of us to join hands, to work together to step it up and achieve gender equality by 2030. I would like to call upon all the parliamentarians of the world to join and drive the global solidarity movements, the Planet 50-50 by 2030, the He for She, Unite to End Violence Against Women campaigns. As you engage in stimulating deliberations about the critical role of women in parliaments, I hope you will also discuss the crucial issues women still face among the world today. I wish all of you success for the future as you place the 2030 agenda into your local context and spearhead the achievement of all SDGs. Thank you for being there and being out there to really take this cause, this most important project for humanity in the 21st century forward.